Hi, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about my TBR for the month of April, and I'm also going to be talking about some new releases. These are books that I would love to try to get to. Not sure if I will, but I just wanted to share them because they're books that are coming out this month that I'm really excited about, that I plan to read at some point. But yeah, let's just get into the video. So I'm just going to start off by sharing the new releases for the month of April. The first one that I want to talk about is, of course, Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is by far one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to read it. This one, like, I'll for sure be getting to it in April. Like, I'm going to start it the day it comes out. I have been looking forward to this book for so long. Basically, it follows these two characters that used to be together and they broke up, but no one knows that they broke up. And so they go on this trip with their friends. It's like this annual trip that they do. And so they decide to just let their friends believe that they're still together just because they don't want to like ruin the trip in any way. So yeah, they are fake dating, and obviously, you know, they're having to share a room, share a bed and all of that, but they're not together anymore. So the concept of this just sounds really interesting. Like, I'm really excited for this. I love Emily Henry. I love her rom-coms, and I just love like the whole idea, like the fact that it's like second chance and fake dating. I really think I'm gonna love this one. Hopefully I am correct in that. I've loved all of her books so far, the ones that I have read. I've talked about Emily Henry before. She's literally one of my favorite authors, so I'm gonna read anything she writes pretty much, even though I still haven't gotten through her entire backlist. But of her newer books, I've read them and I really love them, so I can't wait for this one. I'll definitely be reading it as soon as it comes out. The next new release that I'm excited for is Coach by Tbr Perry. This is a small town single dad, I guess, kind of sports romance. Basically, the two main characters knew each other when they were younger. I think they had a relationship, like they were together at one point, but then he went off and had his career in football. I don't know if he became a professional football player or if he just went and did something football related. I assumed he was a professional football player, but I don't know. So then he comes back to their town. He just got a new job there as the football coach, and so obviously now they keep seeing each other. I honestly don't know much about this book. I literally just read the synopsis like right now, right before I filmed this little clip. So yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I'm excited for it. It sounds interesting. It sounds like a book I would like. I haven't really read much by Tbr Perry. I've only read a few of her books. I really need to get into them because I know everyone who reads her, I feel like, just loves her. So I definitely need to get into more of her books. I've been planning to. I have some on my shelf, and so this one is obviously a new book that she's releasing, and it just sounds like a book I would like, and it sounds like something I would want to read. So I wanted to share it. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in April, but I do plan to read it eventually. The next book is King of Pride by Anna Huang. This is the second book in the series. The first one is King of Wrath, which I have not read yet. So obviously I'm not going to read it when it comes out if I haven't read the first one yet by that time, but I am still really excited for it. I've been wanting to get into this series. I've talked about it before. The first book, I've had it since October when it was released. So this one, I don't know too much about it. I don't even know if the synopsis is out yet. Like, I really don't know anything about it. I know that it follows characters that you meet in the first book, I'm pretty sure. But honestly, I don't know too much about this whole series, like this world that she wrote with these characters. I'm pretty sure they're all like millionaires or billionaires or something. That's about all I know. Like I said, I don't know too much about the tropes or anything for this upcoming book, but I know a lot of people are really excited for it. Like, a lot of people seem to really love these upcoming characters because you do meet them in the previous book. So I'm planning to hopefully read the first one soon so I can read the second one once it comes out. But yeah, I'm excited for this one as well once I get a chance to read it. And then the last new release that I want to talk about is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Again, this is the second one in this little series. They can be read as standalones. Even with the Anna Huang book, that one also can be read as a standalone, but I don't like to read them like that. Like, I like to read them in order. So I still need to read Part of Your World, and once I read that, I will read Yours Truly. This one, again, I don't know too much about it, mainly because I haven't read the first one yet, but I'm pretty sure you do get introduced to these characters in the first one. I'm pretty sure the female main character of this book is the best friend of the female main character from the last book. I'll get to this one someday eventually. I love Abby Jimenez. I always say that, but then I don't know. I need to actually like finish reading her books. I mean, I've read most of them. Technically, I'm only missing two now, Part of Your World and Yours Truly, but I'm gonna read this one soon. As soon as I get to Part of Your World. Part of Your World is very high up on my TBR. It was on last month's TBR, but I haven't read it yet, so I will be reading it soon though. I'm planning to. I would love to try to read it in April, but we'll see. But Yours Truly is a new release for April that I will be excited for once I read Part of Your World. So those were all the new releases. Now I'm gonna go into some books that I'm planning to read in April that I already have or that are already out. So the first book that I want to talk about is a very recent release actually, so it's pretty new. It just came out like at the end of March, but it's The Playlist by Morgan Elizabeth. So this book, again, don't know too much about it. I like to go into books not knowing too too much, so that's why I usually say that I don't know anything about the books that I'm talking about. But I do know that this one is like, I think brother's best friend and like friends to lovers. I think they go on like a road trip maybe, and this book is supposed to be very like inspired by Taylor Swift. The cover has a lot of like little references to Taylor Swift, and each of the chapters has like a Taylor Swift song associated with it. So I love Taylor Swift. She is my all-time favorite artist. So when I heard about this book, I just loved the idea of it. I knew immediately that I would be reading this book as soon as I could. So I'm actually seeing Taylor Swift in Arlington, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. So basically I decided to save this book for after the Taylor Swift concert, because in my mind I'm like, I'm gonna be sad that it's over, and this would just be like the perfect thing to read after, like after the excitement of the concert and then after it being over and everything. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm probably gonna read this like in that week following the concert. So I cannot wait to get into this book. I have a really good feeling about it. I feel like I'm gonna love it. I mean, just the fact that it's like Taylor Swift, like that's everything. Like I'm gonna be obsessed with this book. So I can't wait to get to this one. This one is very high up on my TBR. Like I will 100% be reading this in the month of April. The next book that I will for sure be reading in April is A Court of Silver Flames. I have been putting this series on my TBRs, and I'm actually reading this one currently. So I will be reading it in April for sure. I started it in March, so like, you know, technically I did stick to that at least from my TBR. But yeah, I haven't gotten very far. I'm only on chapter 5, so I'm like 62 pages in. Honestly, I'm not really like feeling that motivated to read this book right now. It's just so long and I feel just like intimidated by that. And then it's in third person and I hate third person, but I have been listening to the audiobook. I actually borrowed the audiobook from Libby and it's due like in a few days, so I'm definitely not going to finish it by that time. I'm just gonna have to borrow it again and like wait again for it, but I don't think the wait is too long right now. But yeah, I did start this one in March. I just didn't get very far into it, but I do plan to read it and finish it in the month of April. The next book that I want to read is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I have had this book on my TBR before and I did not get to it, but this time I have a feeling that I will read it, mainly because I wanted to listen to the audiobook for this book. I don't know why, I just felt like listening to it. Hopefully it's a good audiobook because I've been waiting like 2 months at this point for it. But anyway, I borrowed it from Libby and I actually finally got it in March. Like my turn came up to listen to the audiobook, but I was reading something else. I don't know what I was reading, so at the time I was like, I'll just push it off. Like you can kind of like push back when you get the book and just like give it to the next person in line. But now I still have to wait for it for another few weeks. But yeah, well obviously like I was first in line and then I moved down to like 18th in line. Don't know how that happened, but that's basically what happened. I guess maybe because I put that I wasn't ready for it until April 1st. I guess that would make sense actually. Okay, never mind. I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I was confused by that. So I should be getting the audiobook on Libby this month. So once I get that, I'm planning to listen to this book and I can't wait to get into it. I've been so excited for this book. I feel like everyone who reads it loves it and I think I'm gonna love it too. I've loved Kennedy Ryan so far of the books that I've read by her, and I love the idea of this story. It's a second chance with a divorced couple, so I will for sure hopefully be reading this in the month of April. The next book that I want to read is Powerless by Elsie Silver. I did almost pick this book up in March. I did download it on Kindle and I was gonna start reading it and then I just wasn't in the mood to read it yet, so I put it off for now, but I do really want to read it soon. The next book I think doesn't come out until the summer, so I still have time like before the next one comes out, but I definitely will be reading it before book 4 comes out from the series. But this one is like a childhood friends to lovers. I guess there's like a slight age gap and he's a hockey player. I think she was about to get married and then he helps her run away from her wedding. So I'm excited for this book because I have loved this series so far, and also I feel like I don't know too much about the characters from the 4th book, so I'm pretty sure, at least I'm hoping, you kind of get a little bit more of them in this book. So I'm definitely planning to hopefully read it soon. I've been excited for it. Like it's definitely high up on my TBR. It's like one that I've considered reading already a few times. The next book, I did mention it earlier, but I'll go ahead and mention it again, and it's King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I've had this on my TBR for a while. I keep putting it in TBR videos, but like I mentioned earlier, the second book, King of Pride, is coming out this month, so I definitely would love to try to read this one before then. Hopefully I can make that happen, but we'll see. It's just, I'm such a mood reader, so it just kind of depends. I have almost picked this book up before, but I know it's not going to be like a super cute, like lighthearted book, so I just like wasn't in the mood for that at the time when I was gonna pick it up. But yeah, I will be reading this one soon, hopefully. Again, it's part of this series by Anna Huang. It's an arranged marriage and that's all I know about it also, but I'm excited for it because I really love Anna Huang. And then next, I really want to read another book by Megan Quinn. I did mention Megan Quinn in my last TBR video, and I said that I wanted to get into her books. So I did end up reading one of her books in the month of March, which I'll go into it obviously in my March wrap up. That should be my next video, but I ended up really enjoying it. So now I want to get into more of her books. So my first one that I would love to try to read is A Not So Meet Cute. This one has been on my TBR since it came out. I think it came out in like December 2021. So I've had it on my list for a while of books I want to read, and this one just seems like a cute book. I know that this one is like a fake engagement, I'm pretty sure. I don't know much else, but I also know that this is a series, and the one that I'm really excited for in this series is the third book. So obviously I do want to try to read those in order. So I'm hoping to start with this one in the month of April. But like I said, I did read a Megan Quinn book last month and I really enjoyed it, so now I definitely want to get into more of her books. So I'm gonna probably do this one as my next Megan Quinn book. So those are all the books on my April TBR plus some new releases for the month of April. That's pretty much it for this video. Definitely let me know any of your thoughts on any of these books, and if you liked this and you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.